So before we kick off, I've got every kind of pick known to man. So what sort of pick do I need to do shredding?
Right. I mean, I use Jazz 3s. So I've got red ones, I've got the Petrucci ones, I've got the Kirk Hammett ones. And
Those
the
are
reason I
little
use
ones, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you've got something quite firm, I think is the important thing.
So over a mil, or what, 1 mil or over?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're comfortable with it as well. But I mean,
Like
grippy and sturdy is good.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So obviously you've been playing guitar a while, and you've got your own style and your own way of doing it. But when you're trying to learn to get as many notes in and play as fast, I hate saying shred. I don't know why.
Well, what do we mean by shred? Shall we start there? Like, what are we talking about when we say shredding on the guitar?
I don't know. Shredding to most people is playing fast and getting a load of notes in there. A lot of solos that I mean, like Comfortably Numb is probably a very famous guitar solo, yeah, and it's nice, it's melodic, it moves from, it's not fast, but I mean, it's a fantastic solo, and it's difficult to play because of the bends and all the rest of it, but shredding is, it's more like getting as many notes as you can into the solo, but they have to be the right notes. So a lot of it is technicality.
This is why I think this is why I've always avoided it, really, because I know that, like, I'm at a kind of reasonably average skill level as a player. Like, even though I've played guitar for a really long time, I've kind of never progressed beyond a kind of intermediate level. And I can see when I look at things like, anything that Steve Vai kind of does, even when he was in Whitesnake, Van Halen, that kind of stuff. You know, as a player, how difficult that stuff is.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well with those guys, when you're looking at Nuno, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, I mean, they, I don't know. I always feel like they have got a bit of an unfair advantage because they just have this God-given gift that...
Massive hands. Massive, like freakish hands.
I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, having a good stretch on your guitar is pretty good. I know you're quite small, aren't you? So...
But I have got quite long fingers, as it were. Like I've got bigger hands than my partner, who has, admittedly, he's quite a small guy. But
that would freak me out.
I know, it is weird. He's got these weird little monkey paws. And
if I was holding hands with a girl and she had bigger hands, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
But I've kind of got long bony fingers. So
relationship advice with Joe. Right, okay. So
yeah, don't go there. No one wants that.
Yeah, especially not from me. I'm single and have dogs. Right, okay. So we're having drinks. Okay, cool.
Just a cuppa. Just, it is the morning.
I'm on my Iron Brew. I always like to have Iron Brew when I'm streaming for some reason. It's a habit I've got into. I don't know why.
Oh, is it?
I'm actually sat in the most uncomfortable position here, just so that you can see my guitar. What guitar are you using today, Joe?
I've got the new, improved, very, very old RG550. Now it's all been set up correctly. Floyd Rose is all good, and the neck's been adjusted. Pickups have been put in the right place. So this is it not? This is the ideal guitar.
That's a fantastic guitar for learning to do stuff like this, because I mean the action on those is ridiculously low.
Yeah.
The neck's nice and thin. It's nice and flat. It's a fast neck.
It's actually
I'm using
like the the nut width on these, I looked it up the other day because I think Judy was talking about it on a stream, and I looked it up, and it is one of the narrowest kind of nut widths of neck. These wizard necks are actually incredibly small, so that I should have, that this should give me a little bit of a head start, hopefully.
Right. Well, what I thought, because I was actually talking to Jim about this last night before the stream. I kind of like said, "Oh, I'm teaching Joe to shred tomorrow," and he's like, "How are you going to do that?" I'm like, "Do you know what? I don't know."
Right.
So I mean, I am not a guitar teacher. I don't claim to be a brilliant guitarist. I don't claim to be the fastest shredder in the world or anything. I can play fast. I played a lot faster in my younger days, but I'm getting on a bit now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a few of the exercises and techniques to help you build your speed up. Okay.
Cool.
And then once you kind of master these, you'll find that you can move between your strings a lot quicker. You can hit your string twice as fast. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to move up and down the fretboard faster as well. So there's, I will keep it very, very easy with theory. Right. So pick. Mm-hmm. I tend to have, I don't know if you can see this because I'm not used to having my camera. I have about that much of the pick showing.
Right. So that's different already than how I usually hold my pick. So you've only got.
I have literally got a tiny bit sticking out there.
Right. Okay. Because I sort of I have a funny grip with mine. I sort of hold it on the knuckle, but I have a fair bit of it to kind of. But that's
if it works for you, then it works for you. But one of the other things with doing this, okay, so the way you're hitting the string at the moment is you're hitting it straight down. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. Okay. We're going to use the pick at a little bit of an angle. So instead of hitting straight down, so that's the string. Instead of hitting straight down on the string like you're used to doing, we're actually going to turn the pick at a bit of an angle. So it's.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So with the pick flat, it's kind of like. Okay, and that's how you're hitting the string. What you do is when you turn it at a little bit of an angle. That sounds like an EBO.
So like at an angle, kind of like that.
Yeah, but don't worry about speed at the moment. Just concentrate on the technique. So before you'd be hitting the string like this. So, but now you need to. So it goes. It does take a bit of getting used to, but you can hear on the higher notes that it is. And I am just tickling the edge of the string with the point of the pick there.
And that's the other thing as well. Are we kind of talking about sort of is shredding kind of all about the kind of legato, like hammer-ons, pull-offs and that for getting fast runs of notes? Or are we actually talking about sort of picking every note?
No, absolutely. You're 100% right. I was going to get to that. I mean, obviously, if you can use a hammer-on or a pull-off, then, great. I mean, like Eddie Van Halen tapping and everything. I mean,
yeah,
those speeds, I don't think, that many people could get with a pick. So I mean, tapping's a whole different kettle of fishes. And I mean, it sounds awesome when it's done properly. It sounds like a sack of poop when you don't do it properly. I mean, there's plenty of tapping exercises and stuff, but this is just to build up your picking speed. Okay.
I was going to say, so, there's like all kinds of things like alternate picking, isn't there, and sweep picking and stuff. I think is
sweep picking is a separate, another separate. Today, I mean, we're going to concentrate on alternate picking, okay? Because being able to, do alternate picking is fantastic. I mean, it just opens up so many things. I mean, so we were having a little chat before we started recording. You said, "Oh, you know how to play the solo from Sweet Child of Mine." Most of it. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to make you prove anything.
Channel the bits that I know.
but I don't know how much of that you play just with downstrokes but when you start alternate picking, I mean, I find I alternate pick now naturally when I'm playing. So anything I play, it's usually alternate picking, or I tend to play on the upstroke more now for some reason. I don't know why. That's just the thing I do. So one of the first things that you need to do, and I learned this off a video on YouTube, okay, is just getting used to alternate picking, getting your pick at the correct angle,
right,
and working up and down the fretboard. So start first fret on the 6th string, and you're basically going.
So you're doing alternate picking on all of those,
and you're just moving. But what you need to do as well is try and leave your fingers on. Okay, so if it's like. It's harder than it looks, isn't it?
It is, because you're leaving the leaving the fingers on thing that is messing me up here.
I mean, I forget to leave the fingers on sometimes. Don't worry too much about that. Okay. So what I tend to do is when I'm sitting down to do my practices, for my warm-up, I will go. Just go all the way up the fretboard as far as you can.
Okay. Yeah.
And that way, I mean, you're starting off, you're stretching your fingers nicely there. By the time you get up to there. So I usually like to do that a couple of times just to warm my fingers up. That way as well, because you're having to reach over the top of the other strings. To get to the 5th and 6th string, because because a lot of guitar players do it. I do it as well. I mean, I'm very, very lazy when I'm playing. But by doing this, it forces you to have your hand in a really
it's important to get that like hand position, isn't it? Because like I'm quite lazy as well, and I often sort of like hold, you know, I'll have my thumb over the top and stuff like that. But
dude, if
really,
I played, I'd be like,
yeah.
You know, I have my fingers like so flat, but you know, when you're doing this exercise, it kind of forces you to keep your fingers up, and you get used to having your fingers in a good position for, you know, moving quickly between the strings.
So. It's a lot harder than it looks,
isn't it?
Because you never do that. Well, I never do this anyway.
No, but it's challenging. But I think, you know, if I mean, you know as well as I do, it's like you know, say you hear a great song and you love that song and you think, damn, I want to be able to play that song, but it's such a challenge. But when you do actually learn that song, you feel so good about it afterwards. You're like, oh my God, I can play that song now.
Absolutely.
So, you know, if even if it does feel like hard work, I mean, I'd say that to anybody, even if it does feel like hard work, you know, if you put the work in, then, you know, you do get the results and you will find yourself feeling better about how you're playing. I should
really absolutely should be doing this. I'm one of those people that just like, I know what I know, and I know I can play what I can play, and I have been a bit lazy. I haven't really pushed myself and tried.
Everybody does it. Everybody does it, Joe. It's not. Everybody plateaus. I mean, I had a spell a little while ago where I was learning tapping and stuff, and I had to really force myself. I mean, like, I knew the theory, but I've got quite big sausage fingers, so you know, when I'm down on these frets here, I mean, my hands pretty much cover the fretboard, you know, and I'm like trying to pick notes up here and stuff, and but you know, the first little song that I did, I mean, I know it wasn't anything fantastic, but I was just so stoked with it. I was like, oh my God, I did that. And that's the same with anything. If you put the little bit of work in, you know, so what you need to do with this, it's kind of just do it all the way up the fretboard, and then should have picked a better guitar for this. Just go up and down the fretboard like that a few times, and you know, just do it every day until it becomes a bit more natural, and then I don't know why, whenever there's a camera on me, I suck at guitar. I can sit and do this for hours and it's note perfect. So yeah, like I said, that's the first thing. That is that's really important. And the thing is, once you start doing that, when you pick a guitar up, instead of, you know, like playing like flat chords and having your thumb over, and you will actually find yourself, you know, putting your hand in a better position. And then, you know, when it comes to, you know, when it does come to playing your chords, you'll use it when you're making chords. You'll do it, you know, and it does actually really affect the rest of your playing. And you know, you'll find making bar chords easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, or even like power chords where you're having to kind of not, you know, you're having to kind of fret only a couple of notes and actually kind of make sure that you're, you know, you're not kind of muffling the other strings because you've not got the technique. So I can see how it would be really, really useful.
Yeah, I mean, especially with your power chords, you know, if you've got your fingers more up,
it's definitely going to make those look easier.
Yeah, it does. It does make everything so much easier. Just being able to do, and you're warming your fingers up. You're building up the muscles, the little tendons in your wrist and everything. But you're giving both. I mean, it's like Jim said last night on the stream. He's so he plays so. I mean, his hammer on and pull off game is like. He's brilliant, but he admits himself he neglects his right hand. So it's a silly. I mean, it feels like a ridiculous way to hold the pick. So yeah, it's a case of alternate picking.
Mm-hmm. So so holding it at that angle, only the kind of very tip of it, kind of.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't know if you can see. That is literally how much of the pick I have got.
Right. Okay.
But that's just me. And another reason I like doing that is because you can. You can get your little pig squeals and harmonics and stuff a lot easier with that.
I was going to ask you about that actually, because that's one technique that I've never been able to do. Is pinch harmonics.
If you're holding the pick there, okay. Now instead of putting it at an angle, okay, if you do it flat, but on your way down, try and catch it with. Try and catch it with either your thumb or your fingertip. I mean, you can probably
difficult to see what you're doing.
I'm not used to having my camera here. So try and catch it. You can actually see the skin coming off my thumb there, I think. Try and catch it with the bit of your thumb there. Okay. Right. So you're holding the pick.
Yeah. But
you've got that bit of your thumb there. That's the bit that you want to kind of.
I think I did it then.
It sounds like you're getting there.
I think it's kind of more luck than technique. I can sort of feel what you mean, because when I thought, oh, I've done it, I kind of felt it as well, but I don't think we do it.
Oh, Joe, a lot of it, sorry, I forgot as well. You need to kind of like, depending on where you're trying to make the pinch harmonic, just say you're like working between the third and fifth fret. Mm-hmm. You kind of want to be just behind the neck pickup. So kind of like here, where you hit it. That will make it a lot easier.
Right.
So there are different parts.
Right,
sorry?
Okay. I was going to say, does that change depending on where you are?
Yeah. I mean, some people, you can really force it. But yeah, it does make it a lot easier depending on where you are. So like if I'm trying to make a pinch harmonic more higher up the neck, I'll move back a bit.
Okay, so basically the higher up the neck you are, the further back.
It's just the same as like, you know, you've got your harmonics on your 12.
Yeah.
You've got your 7ths and your 5ths, and they're easy to find. But I mean, you can also get one on the 4th there.
I think, yeah, I kind of. I'm gonna have to just do it hundreds of times, and then
it is literally a case of just keep doing it until you know you can hit it every time. I mean, I don't usually play this guitar as well, but I'm kind of really loved up with this one at the minute. So, I mean, look at the headstock; it's a thing of beauty.
It is pretty cool. I'm not that familiar with those guitars, to be honest.
Hagstrom are quality Swedish instruments. This is a.
Is it your mate's Ghost? Do they play them?
Yeah, Ghost used the Phantom models. I mean, Benny out of ABBA used to use Hagstroms.
Oh, cool! Very cool.
You know, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a really nice looking guitar. It's really
like I said, I'm not a Les Paul guy, but this has got a nice thin neck on it. And
that's like me. That's like my PRX. I'm the same. I'm not a Gibson person. I'm not Les Paul person, but I love my PRS, which is like a rip off of a Les Paul Junior or something. Yeah, much lighter and much nicer, I think. Oh
no, this thing weighs about the same as a small planet. I think if I had to gig with it, I'd probably need help afterwards. Not as strong as it used to be. Right, so
I have neck problems as well. So like, I'm favouring the lighter guitars, obviously.
Do you get one of those stands that they have the acoustics on stage? You know, where they want to do like a nice little, you know, when they'll come out and they'll go. Stuff like that, and then they'll move back to the electric. Right, so we've got the going up and down the fretboard. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just keep doing that. Do it a couple of times, and like I say, it will suck, but you will find that your fingers actually, you know, start stretching, and you'll find that your technique improves. You know, when you're fretting your notes, and seriously, do it for a week. You know, and then try and play a solo that you're familiar with, and you'll notice that you can hit the strings cleaner. You'll find it easier to bend the strings because you'll have built up more strength in your fingers, and you'll be able to move quicker between the notes. So that the tricky bits where you were struggling to get from there to there, you'll find that you can actually apply this to any of your solo playing. Okay. All right. So another thing about shredding is going up and down the neck, like really, you know, going from a low note up to a high note. Okay.
Yeah, I don't do that very much because nothing that
nobody does unless they're showing off.
Well, this is it. But I mean, most of this, you know, it's usually within a certain key, and that means it's within a certain kind of area, and it will be quite, you know, in one particular place. I don't sort of jump around a lot, really. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, I mean, I'll show. I mean, basically, I'm going to show you a way of going from there, just within a few notes. Okay. So we're going to go. So it's 2 notes on every string. Okay.
Right.
So I'll tell you the frets. So it's 5, 8 on the 6th string, and then
with like
whatever you can reach with.
Yeah.
So then up to the next string, 7/10.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Then 7/10 again. And then 10/13 on the next string.
Ah, I see. Kind of.
So
Is that like a pentatonic scale, but across all the? Yeah,
again, it's just another exercise to practice moving, jumping between the strings, doing your alternate picking, you know, and finding the notes and hitting
Cool. Okay, so just keep practicing, and I suppose you can probably start that pretty much anywhere and do that pattern.
Exactly. I mean, that's in that's in A. So yeah, I mean, you're starting on your root note, which is A. If you want to do it in B, then you know you just play it.
Yeah, but just do the same.
Two steps up. So yeah, that is. But then what you can do is you can start adding like extra notes in. So you can play like the. I mean, it's quite satisfying to the ear as well when you you know when you get it right.
Yeah, certainly. Yes. It certainly sounds like better than the first exercise, which is just a chromatic.
Yeah, I mean, that's not nice.
Yeah.
At least
yeah, it's definitely there's and you can hear when you've gone wrong as well quite easily.
Well, yeah, that's. One of the things I find really easy when I'm learning something like this is like, right, I know the first three strings. And just play those until it's second nature. And then go on to the next one. That sounded like Ingwe, whatever you did there.
I don't know. I think I did it wrong. Yeah, I kind of have to like think of it as two halves, like you say. It's like the first three strings,
split it up, because I mean that's what I do if I'm learning a solo. So say I'm learning something like. Until I can kind of get it.
Yeah, it's practicing the little parts, isn't it? Like breaking it down and kind of getting that particular bit till that's solid, and then kind of the next bit and building it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep playing the same thing over and over until you're not thinking about it. So with that run that I was showing you there, once you're comfortable with that,
Cool.
So you've got the we've got the chromatic runs.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I think some people call it spider walking.
Oh, I see. Because it looks, yeah.
It's kind of like a spider walking.
Yeah.
But that is just to build up your muscle memory and get your hands used to working in a way.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't normally do that.
Because when you're used to kind of just. You're not really, and the thing is, I do it as well. I get really lazy. I mean, I play an A chord like that. It's one finger.
Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff, isn't it?
That's a G.
Yeah.
Like I said, you just become lazy because you're playing stuff that you enjoy, and you kind of get lost in it. And that's why Jim always says it. That last 10 minutes of your practice, play the song that you love, or play the riffs that you love, or the chords that you love. Just play something that's fun, and it's kind of like when you used to go for swimming lessons as a kid, and they'd be like making you the breaststroke for half an hour, but for the last 5 minutes you could throw like hoops and stuff at each other. It's just kind of like adding the fun to it, so that your practice is, I don't know, until your practice is always kind of going to be a chore. But if you think, I mean, it's like if you were training to run a marathon. I don't know when the last time you ran, but I mean, you
I don't. I don't.
You'd probably be blowing.
I'm a fighter, not a runner.
You'd probably be blowing out your arse by the time you got to the end of your straight, but you just keep running to the end of your straight until you could do it, and then you go a bit further. It's just the same with playing guitar. Just
yeah. I mean, I guess my thing is, because I never had lessons. So most of the stuff that I've learned how to play, it's either been out of like books or out of like magazines, like Guitar Tab out of a magazine, and you listen along to the CD. So it's like, it's partly ear training and a partly kind of tab, that I've.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way. I mean, I was the same. I learned playing chords out of a Beatles book, but and I mean, thankfully as well, the book I had, it said, it numbered your fingers 1, 2, 3, and it told you which
the chord shapes, and they okay, that's how you play it.
It told you which finger to put on which string, otherwise you'd be like, and that was great. And this is kind of the same, but it's just kind of like retraining your body to do some things that you probably would have been taught had you gone to lessons.
Well, this is it, and I've never actually developed really a sort of practice routine as such. So I really need to work on that. I really need to build one. So it would be cool to kind of like, okay, start with these couple of exercises, and then find some more stuff that actually sort of challenges me and kind of makes me learn actually how to do things, rather than just going, oh, I want to play this song, I'm going to go and watch like Marty Music and look at how to play this song, because that's not really helping me to develop my technique. And I have been doing the Tim Pierce stuff, but a lot of that is quite focused on, it's quite theoretical. So it's great because I'm learning about kind of chord progressions and.
I mean, especially Tim Pierce. I mean, I'm very familiar with his channel and his playing and everything. If you watch the way he has his fingers, you can tell that he's done a similar kind of exercise at some point. And
he's amazing. I mean, he's just got such amazing ability, and a lot of his stuff kind of, I think, assumes that you already know this as well. So he's starting from a point of thinking that you, as a guitarist, already know all this and you've already done.
Yeah, this. I mean, he's assuming the correct way to fret your strings and press down on them. But yeah, I mean, like I say, this it's kind of like. I mean, for me, like the going up, the spider walking up and down the neck, that's just the same as a runner, stretching out their legs and their muscles before they actually start running, and that's what you're doing. So what I would say is, if you want to, I mean, I don't know much about what you've got going on and stuff, but I would say try and do at least 10 minutes of the chromatic stuff. Just till you can do it. You don't even need to look at the fretboard. You can just feel it, and then you can just get your hand used. One thing I will say is just keep using the same guitar while you're doing it, just until you get used to it.
I'm going to be trying to do that on this guitar because this is the one.
Yeah, that's your. Once you've figured that out, Joe, and you're moving, then try and do it with a palm mute on it as well. Don't try and do it fast to start with. Just try it. Slow it down.
This is gonna be really challenging. It's also gonna kind of keep me. It's gonna keep me really busy, I think. Because
what I would say, if you want some homework, is do 10 minutes of the spider walking every day. Okay, just don't even plug the guitar in. Just go up and down. Practice your alternate picking just to get into. And the thing is, as well, with like the songs you already know, the little solos, the little riffs you already know, if you can, consciously try and alternate pick the things. So
okay, that's
so if
so like the ones that I that I always I do in my practice stuff, which is like Day Tripper, those kind of riffs. Trying to do those alternate picking would be a challenge, I think.
Just try and get. Don't worry about pull-ons and hammer-ups. They just kind of start coming natural. But yeah, just get your alternate picking and moving your fingers around the board. You've got a little run there now to go from.
That's very cool.
The thing is, you know in your head what it should sound like, so you know when you've made a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. It's really easy to hear using that one anyway. You can
And what I'd say is just do these exercises for a week until, you know, you can, you know, quite smoothly. You don't need to go much faster than that. So yeah, I'll teach you one little, another little run just to, so you can have some fun on the top strings. Okay. So go 17.
Mm-hmm.
So 17, 15, 13. Hey, buddy.
Sorry, hello, Frank. Sorry, Frank.
And I'll get you something, okay?
Are we hurting his little ears?
Don't be a jerk.
Oh.
I'll come get you in a minute, okay? I haven't hurt his feelings. He's a good boy. Right, so 17. Yeah. And then same on the B string.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just keep doing that.
So 17, 15, 13, 17, 15, 13. Be good. So yeah, just keep. So 17, 15, 13, 17, 15, 13.
Yeah.
And then 16, 14, 13.
Oh, cool. Okay, just going up and down that sort of.
But again, alternate picking.
Alternate picking. Yeah,
so that's on that.
Yeah, it's so, more again. That's more difficult than it sounds as well.
Yeah, it is. But when you put it all together.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to do the spider walking, that pattern that goes kind of up and down the neck, and then the one that starts on the fret.
Yeah, the little.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to do those for, shall we say, the next 2 weeks.
Just do them every day for the next 2 weeks. If you can, get 20 minutes, half an hour out of it.
I should be able to find, a little bit of time each day to do that.
Even Joe, because I used to do this all the time. Like, even if you just sat on a settee, with is it Matt? It's Matt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sat on the settee with Matt and you're watching Corrie or whatever. Just have the guitar and just be. It's not noisy, it's not intrusive, and you're just getting your fingers used to being in these shapes, and you just build it. It's like those guys that sit there, with those little squeezy things when they're trying to be all hench and stuff. It's but you're just doing your exercises for your guitar, and you're not making any noise, you're not bugging anybody, and you're just getting your fingers used to going up and making that shape.
Yeah,
with your.
Yeah, it's
getting your thumb in get that thumb behind that fretboard.
I know, right? That's the key thing, really, isn't it? It's getting that kind of hand position.
It's getting the hand position. But if you're just sat doing this all the time, even while you're watching TV or you're waiting for the wash to finish or whatever, it's worth just putting that little bit of extra. That little extra bit of work, and you will notice that it makes a huge difference to your playing. And then after a week, try applying it to, so the solo to, Sweet Child of Mine, or whatever. See, Mr. Pickle.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Pickle.
Hello.
Cribbit.
Oh.
They're all getting shitty because they haven't had something to eat yet. Well, they've had the breakfast.
I better let you go and
right.
Use their breakfast, because.
So you know what you've got to do, and seriously, after a week, just start trying to apply it to other stuff that you can already play. And honestly, you'll notice a difference. It'll make your playing just easier. And to your own ears, it'll sound better.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this actually sounds like when. Whoever played it. It's a really nice feeling when you hit something. It just sounds so good.
I don't think I'm ever going to sound like Slash, but I might be able to. Actually, what I do want to do is actually kind of be able to play the bit that I've been trying to play for years and that I can't quite get. So this will be good, actually, because it will support like me trying to actually play that more difficult bit with the wah pedal and stuff. So
you'll find as well with doing the spider walking that you will start throwing your little finger into the mix a bit more as well. And you'll be oh, that's a lot easier if I can do it. Honestly, it does make a difference.
Well, also it will help with things like just some of those chords where there's kind of like a difficult stretch with the little finger as well, which I've not been able to nail that chord from Purple Rain, because that's got a stretch where the little
they're not easy chords, to be fair.
Like, it's a massive stretch. So I think building up that strength and that kind of dexterity and adding that in will help. It does make a huge difference, and you'll get there. But like I say, you just got to put that little bit of work in. But even if you're just sitting on the settee, just make sure you're pressing the strings down. You're keeping your thumb behind the fretboard, and it really does become a second nature. And eventually, you'll be able to go from there to there in about 30 seconds. You'll be able to. And then that little run that I showed you, you'll be able to just go. This is it. It's getting it to be kind of smooth as well, and kind of not, not sound so kind of I'm not sure about what I'm doing, that kind of thing.
But then once you've kind of got that stuff in the pocket as well. I'll send you over some cool little exercises and riffs for you to learn. And again, it's just a case of building the speed up on them. But always. Start slow. You'll get it, and I can guarantee you. Really? Really?
All right, Frank.
Right, I'm gonna have to go because I'm getting bullied by my pack of hounds. But yeah, let me know how you get on. If you got any questions, just drop me a message. All right.
Amazing. Thanks so much, mate. All right, have a great day.
Take it easy, Joe. See you later.
Cheers. Bye-bye.